Are you building a plan for AI or are you just hoping it goes away? AI is moving faster than most 3D artists can keep up with, and if you're watching this, then you're already feeling that shift. If your plan is just to wait it out or focus on making better images, then you might be focusing on the wrong thing. The tools have changed, what clients expect has changed, so your plan needs to change too. And in this video, I'll show you how I'm adapting my workflow and how you can build your own AI plan without getting overwhelmed, because AI isn't the threat, not having a plan is. If you're a 3D artist trying to figure out where AI fits into your workflow, you're not alone. I've been in the industry for over a decade and I've seen tools come and go, but this shift, it's different. And that's why I've built a simple AI plan that helps me stay ahead without getting overwhelmed. This will help you cut through the noise and focus on what actually matters. The value of our work has never been just in the pixels, it's about the outcomes we create. Right now, AI is compressing the distance between input and output. Clients don't want a render, they want results, they want approvals, sales, sign-off, stakeholder buy-in, and that's always been true, but AI is just making it more obvious. So speed and leverage are the new superpowers. Being small and lean is no longer a disadvantage, it's actually a selling point. But it takes agency and you've got to be willing to experiment and to ask, can AI make me better at my job? So what's not changing? The fundamentals: storytelling, composition, lighting, understanding what the client actually needs. That's the stuff that still sets you apart. And the trap is chasing every new tool. And that is a fast track to burnout. So what's helped me is this mindset shift that I don't have to master everything. I just need to know what's possible and then plug in the right tool at the right time. And that is the difference between being reactive and being strategic. When I first started exploring AI tools, I felt completely overwhelmed. There's a new tool every week and it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. So I simplified it, I broke it down into 4 categories, and I just picked one tool from each. So let's take a look at what this looks like in practice. So image generation and upscaling. This is where I've tested most. I use Magnific for creative upscaling. It's fast and the results are stunning. It's my go-to when I want to take a render and give it that extra polish. And then there's also Topaz, Gigapixel. It's great for both standard and creative upscaling. And now it's integrated into Photoshop, so it's easier to use. Chaos Upscaler is built for ArcViz. It respects your geometry in ways a lot of the others don't. Chaos Image Enhancer gives you advanced controls so you can tweak age, ethnicity and gender of people, so it's super useful for localization. Nano Banana is generative fill on steroids. It's now in Photoshop and there is a great demo I'll link in the description. And of course, Photoshop itself has had a huge AI glow up, generative fill, harmonize and more, and I'll link another video in the description. For 3D asset creation, when I need to generate quick 3D assets, we have Meshy. I used this on a client project last year for background props and it saved me hours. And when paired with Magnific, the results were good enough to ship. It's not quite there yet for hero assets, but it's getting close. And in Future Proof 3D Artist, Martin took us through his exact process of how he does this, so check out the link in the description. Tripo or Rodin are other options. For large environments, Polycapture is brilliant for capturing Gaussian splats. I've got a video showing how I use it with 3ds Max. Luma AI has a growing library of splats as well that's worth digging into. And if I need materials fast, then the Material Gen in Chaos Cosmos. It basically turns reference images into usable materials in seconds, and that is a huge time saver when you're on a deadline. Animation and motion. This is where you can start turning your static renders into something that moves people, literally. I've been using Kling lately a lot, and what I love is the control over the first and last frame, and it's perfect for adding subtle animation to still images. VO3 is producing some stunning results. I've used it a lot for creating shorts, B-roll, and it's super impressive. Runway just got a new model release that looks crazy as well. Interactivity and collaboration. So this isn't just a nice to have anymore. Clients are starting to expect interactivity. In real estate, for example, we've gone from floor plans to renders and now full virtual tours. And I saw a stat that homes with virtual tours sell 10% faster. So that's not just a cool feature, that is actually a business case. I've used Chaos Cloud Collaboration to create 360 tours where clients can move through the space, they can leave comments and even view floor plans. You can share these with just a URL and they are viewable on any device. NViz is another one I've tested. It lets you build high quality interactive tours that feel premium. So if you're working with high-end clients, this is the way to go. Vantage has been a game changer, especially in meetings. So instead of sending a render and waiting for feedback, I can walk clients through the scene in real time. It's collaborative and it saves so much back and forth. And 3D streaming via Chaos. This one has flown under the radar, but it's so powerful. You can upload a full 3D scene to the cloud and your client can explore it on their own, leaving comments as they go. And this isn't a huge lift on our side, but it's extremely valuable on the client side. And the key shift here is just removing the friction and being easier to work with. And that becomes the selling point more than how realistic the images look. If you're thinking, I have no idea where to start, I get it, I've been there. There are so many tools, so many options, and it's easy to feel like you're behind. But here's the truth, you don't need to master everything, you just need to start. So here is what I'm doing. I'm revisiting my current portfolio and I'm updating it with the tools I've shown you. That means I'm adding motion to stills, upscaling older work, and even experimenting with 360 tours or 3D streaming. I'm not waiting for the perfect project, I'm using what I already have because my portfolio isn't just going to be a gallery of still images anymore. It's going to be a showcase of outcomes, all packaged around what the client actually needs. And that's a big shift, packaging outcomes, not renders. So instead of selling a single image, I'm building multi-format packages. And if you want to start, here's what I'd recommend. Pick one tool from each category, one upscaler, one image to video, one text to 3D, one interactive or collaboration tool, and then build out simple workflows. Use something like Miro to map them out and then update an old project with motion, upscale it, package it better. And don't tell clients what you can do, show them. Start offering them packages, build case studies around outcomes, time saved, faster approvals, units sold. Revisit old clients with upgraded offers and add-ons. Say, hey, I've got this new tool we're using, it produces this outcome. Clients have seen this result. An important thing to do is block out weekly R&D time. I think this is one of the most important skills, is going to be learning how to learn and adapting fast. With the rapid rate of change, scheduling R&D time each week will be increasingly important. Tools change, but your ability to adapt is the asset. And I would get less caught up on which tools to use and focus on the results that matter to our clients. If you want help building your own AI plan, and you're serious about future-proofing your 3D career, then check out Future-Proof. It's my program for 3D artists who want to stay ahead of the curve, not get left behind. You can apply using the link in the description. I believe the future belongs to the hybrid artist, someone who knows the fundamentals, increases their AI fluency, and delivers a great client experience. But there's one thing that AI can't do, and that is build trust and make people want to work with you again. And that's exactly what I break down in this next video. So check it out and I'll see you in the next one.